you're into dragons, especially big, strong ones. You might think Ralsei has a thing for Chris since he blushes when you're close to him and always says sweet things to you. But all the times Chris shows affection to Ralsei is because you made them do it. If you instead look at the times Chris makes decisions on their own, you'll notice they actually really like Susie. After King tricked you then tried to finish off Susie, Chris will rush in front of Susie to save her life. Sure, maybe that was because King was attacking Susie in that moment, and perhaps Chris would have done the same for Ralsei. But what about if during the swan ride you choose to hug Ralsei, then he hugs Chris back after the Spamton neophyte? Chris will turn to Susie because they want a hug from her too. But you could still argue that Chris ultimately just wanted a hug from both of them, not just Susie. Okay, fine, but there's still the very end of the chapter when Susie asks Chris who they're taking to the carnival. If you force Chris to respond with Noelle or Ralsei, Susie will point out that Chris sounds really confused. But if you have Chris respond with Susie instead, Chris's response will come out much more naturally. So it's clear that if Chris had to choose only one of their party members to stick with, they would choose Susie. But this ultimately means